My favorite action movie, at least off the top of my head, some people wouldn't even consider an action movie because it plays on the tropes of action movies while also it's a self-aware. I changed up my answer. It's The Other Guys. Oh. My favorite action movie is The Other Guys.
I was about to be like, my name is Jeff.
Because it was 21 Jump Street. Because here's the thing about both movies. 21 Jump Street and The Other Guys are both action comedies that subvert action movie tropes. On one hand, 21 Jump Street, you have the subversing. Whoa, I've never used that as a verb before, like an active verb. You have all of the high school tropes that you're subverting, and in The Other Guys, you have pure action movie tropes that you're subverting. So I think it kind of wins as like an action movie by default. But also, I am constantly reminded of The Other Guys as a movie because whenever I play My Hero by the Foo Fighters, I always think about the first time I saw the scene with Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock,
Aim for the bushes.
who are both huge action stars in their own rights, but they're chasing after a criminal and they're standing at the edge of a tall building and they look at each other and they're like, aim for the bushes, you know it. And then they like, fist pound like action movie bros, and then you hear the and then they jump, and then you see them falling, and you see pavement below them. There are no bushes. And it's just this long shot of them like falling, and then they hit the ground, and then the music stops, and then they're dead. It was so funny. The first time I saw it, I damn near pissed my pants. But no, The Other Guys stars Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, and they play basically people who work in the office alongside like actual action heroes. And Mark Wahlberg wants to get out there and be a real cop. He doesn't want to just be a desk jockey. And Will Ferrell has an interesting past, which leads him to not want to do that, but he ends up partnering up with Mark Wahlberg and blah, blah, blah. It's got a lot of good action sequences in it. I'm just going to say there's a lot of gun shooting. There's a chase scene towards the end. There's a scene with a big old explosion where Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg are talking about how cool guys walk away from explosions in every action movie, but they're like, how? My ears are ringing. Like, it's the way that they comment on how dumb action movies can be. It was very refreshing to watch at the time, and I remember there's so many quotable parts of that movie. There's the whole crocodile scene where Will Ferrell talks about being a pimp in his past life. There's the police captain played by Michael Keaton who keeps quoting TLC songs. And Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell are like that's what did you say? And then the captain's like, yeah, just don't go chasing waterfalls, right? Like, don't go chasing false leads. And they're like, are you quoting TLC? And he's like, what is that? And he pretends to not know what TLC is. He also works in a Bed Bath & Beyond, which I find, yeah. When was the last time you saw that movie?
The one time we saw it in theaters.
Really? In 2010?
Yeah. It's my one and only time seeing that movie.
Wow. It's been a little bit more recently for me, but yeah, man, when I think about action movies, it's like we were just talking about it before starting the episode. Every movie now, it seems like has action in it. Like there are hardly ever any movies that come out these days that are just one that could be considered one genre, unless it's like drama. I feel like there are a lot of
Extraction 2 that just came out, I guess, is like a top tier action movie.
with Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, apparently that one's like damn good, like John Wick level status good. I just
really
haven't seen it because
I
don't know what the hell it is.
I don't either, and that's the thing about action movies. Like I feel like a lot of the plots. You don't go to an action movie to watch the plot. You go to an action movie to watch the explosions, the action, the practical effects, and every other, like if you look at a list of top 100 action movies of all time or whatever, you'll see a lot of sci-fi movies. You'll see a lot of superhero movies. You'll see a lot of not horror movies, but like thrillers. Like one website called Scarface, an action movie. And I'm like, I don't know if I don't know. I genuinely don't know if I would call it an action movie. Excuse me, I just hacked up a lung. And so it's hard for me to sift through all of the movies that I've seen in my brain to be like, oh yeah, that is the best action movie I've ever seen. Because as much as I wanted to, throw Enter the Dragon out there, or like Ip Man, or The Raid, I either haven't seen those movies or haven't seen them in a very, very long time. So I would feel weird if I just threw them on the list. Because truth be told, I don't watch a whole lot of movies anymore unless they are superhero movies, or every once in a while we'll go see like a Ghibli movie. And it's like those aren't action.
Yeah.
Dude, if I could consider Kiki's Delivery Service an action movie because of the last scene,
Yeah, right.
I would. Yeah, had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. So, I like the other guys. I think it's a fun watch, especially if you are an action movie fan and you recognize the tropes and all of the self-awareness of the genre as a whole. But if you're looking for other really, really good action movies, again, a lot of movies have action in them, but Mad Max Fury Road, that always pops up as like action because it's got a lot of explosions and fire and, practical effects and stunts. The Expendables is kind of a series that celebrates all of the biggest action, like male action stars of the last 40 years. Speaking of 40 years, anything with Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone in it, basically like from the years of like 1980 to 1994. Because you got Predator, you got Commando, you got Rambo, you got Last Action Hero,
Rambo Commando, Rambo Commando, Rambo Commando.
So yeah, also all the Fast and Furious movies, but I don't care. The only one that I watched in theaters was the last one that Paul Walker was in, and I admit I shed a tear.
More like the Fat and the Furious.
Oh!
You got to race Smithers to the Burns' mansion.
Yeah, so if you want to call Hit and Run an action game,
it is action.
Good.
And then again, pretty much every game is action, unless it's some stupid like
a puzzle game. Unless it's like brain tease. What the brain games. Yeah, this turned out to be a little less climactic of a episode topic than I thought, considering that this is the action episode. But I'm sure David's got a really good pick, and I'm sure...
very good pick.
Listen, if y'all have any recommendations for action movies for me to watch, other than John Wick, because I
John Wick, you bastard. You fucking bastard. God damn it.
I haven't seen a single John Wick movie.
Oh, no.
And I can probably guarantee that if I had seen any of them, one of them would be my top action movie. But at least reflecting on it, thinking about it, The Other Guys was my favorite action movie for the moment. And that's the thing about these kind of favorite lists of things, is we want to act like there's a definitive spot for all of these movies and games and albums and whatever, but they're always subject to change. You know why? Because we're always subject to change, and our tastes are always subject to change. So this is basically me putting up a buffer so that if any of you don't like my choices, then you can suck on it. Suck on it. Fucking whatever. You know, I don't care. I don't care. Because I'm a different person. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be a different person. And I will have seen John Wick in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we will see. We will see, won't we?
We will.
Oh, Hot Rod. No, I'm not. This is. Never mind. I could go on and on about this, but we don't have all day.